Live for a Green New Deal, it's really an idea whose time has come. What it's done, it's created a sort of a space for Labour members who now prioritise the environment to come together, push ideas such as retrofitting that we've always believed has to be a part of a green industry going forward.
I think arguably the climate crisis is the greatest existential crisis that we've ever faced. The UN has said that we have 10 years to keep emissions down to 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels. And we're already at 1.1 degrees above pre-industrial levels. And we're already seeing extreme weather here in the UK. We had the 5 hottest years on record over the last 5 years. And we've seen extreme flooding in South Yorkshire last year. So it's already happening. And we can't really mince our words here. We're in trouble and we need to act.
What is retrofitting? So retrofitting is essentially making your home more energy resilient. So it's a bit like wrapping it in a big cloth or a blanket to make it warmer so that the heat stays inside. And that then means that you don't have to use lots and lots of heat in order to keep it at a nice stable temperature for you.
There is a huge amount of opportunity for retrofit. So given that there are currently 29 million homes that should be retrofitted by 2050 if we're going to meet our zero carbon goals, and there's like a £9.7 billion potential market in commercial retrofit in terms of commercial properties. The potential for it is massive in terms of our national economy. And to meet that, we need to really lever the opportunity or the phase that we're in now to reskill, upskill, train people to fill that gap in the market, because at the moment our retrofit is not where it needs to be.
Well, the Tory party talk the talk about fighting climate change, but in reality they're just greenwashing their record in government. They've systematically sabotaged the renewable energies industry for the last decade. Ending subsidies for onshore wind energy, scrapping the renewable obligation, scrapping feed-in tariffs. We did see Rishi Sunak unveil £6 billion for retrofit in July, but that's going to cover about 2% of housing stock, so it's too little too late.
Finding labour has been difficult in retrofit ever since the start, and if we're going to do all of those houses, we need about 50,000 people across Greater Manchester to be able to do 80,000 homes a year to meet the targets.
On a local scale, the way we can think about retrofit is in terms of the potential of creating more generative businesses. So on a really local economy level, we'll have multiple people who are being put in really precarious positions of work, being made redundant. There is space now to take this and really create new locally based businesses which can be part of broader supply chains on a local level, which then means that any national funding or even local government money that is being used to retrofit, say, council housing, with private housing, using that to hold that money in the local economy through these generative businesses and really make sure that people who will be suffering because of the economic flux that we're in have space and opportunity to transition into jobs that will have an impact in the green economy going forward.
At a time when a shock comes, in this case it's COVID, we end up with lots of people who are not able to meet their basic needs as a result of that external shock. So I think what retrofit can do is start to tackle some of those issues around the economy and think about how can we restructure jobs in places which really need them. The kind of skills that are needed for retrofit are really multifaceted. So you've got anyone from people who are architects through to people who work on putting the insulation in and doing the building works. So there's a real opportunity to think about where the jobs can be, who can do those jobs, and what terms those jobs should be on. So what really makes a good job so that the future of the economy is not one that's so shaky and really provides the needs for people.
With COVID, we've seen the massive inequality exacerbated and really highlighted by this health crisis, and everyone recognises that it needs to be addressed. Now is a time to do that, and when it comes to a green recovery, all of this needs to be built in together. You can't have a green recovery without thinking about inequality. you can't have a green recovery without considering the economic, extractive fossil capitalism that we're currently in. That all needs to be addressed within the same breath.
There's hundreds of thousands of people across the UK out of work now because we can't be, in theatres and at festivals together. And these people I've worked with for a decade have the skills to start retrofitting. They build sets, they put up scaffolding, they create marvellous, amazing things every week of their lives. And they can take those skills and rebuild someone's house and save the planet at the same time. It seemed like the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, I was full-time a bit before COVID. I wasn't employed soon enough, so I wasn't able to get proper furlough, but I managed to get a bit of casual furlough, which was very, very little.
I worked various events jobs, whether it be crewing. I was a venue manager up until very recently, sadly.
Literally half an hour before curtain was going up, that we was going to pull the show, so from then on everything stopped.
This is a 1920s semi. It's one of millions in the country. We've got 27 million across the country to do. Over 1 million houses in Greater Manchester need dealing with. We're going to take this to zero carbon. We set Redcorp up about 6 years ago to build on the experience that I've been building up and some have been building up for 30 years because we wanted to get on and do the work rather than writing more reports talking about it.
We were the first to leave and probably the last to come back. From a show coming in to building the set to remaking bits that are broken or whatever, it's almost like a specialist skill set that we have.
It'd be interesting to use my skills both in events and set building.
Electrics, very good at that, but I'm also very hardworking, good at the graft, very hands-on kind of person, but we all are.
Retrofitting is brilliant and it pulls together all the skills that backstage workers have already.
Yeah, there definitely is still hope. We've still got time to bring emissions back under control if we act now. The Labour Party has a real opportunity now to present its plans for a green recovery, and we believe retrofit is a key part of that.
Those people that have lost their jobs as a result of this catastrophe can maybe help us get to that fairer society in the future. What we need to be doing is creating a zero carbon society that's fairer for everyone, and maybe we can build back better.
Being in the Labour Party isn't about waiting for someone to tell you what to do. It's about seeing injustice and trying to do something to help it. And that's what this whole project is about.